Yo, who's on this? Who's gonna pop on? What's up, y'all? So I've been thinking a lot about, I have my EP coming out in a couple months, and we're kind of a little stuck on, because I put Black Dress out, but that's just a demo version. That was just basically guitar and vocals. So it's gonna be on Dark Country, the album, but we just don't know which direction to go because we're trying to decide if there's going to be drums on the track, if there's not going to be drums on the track. We might switch out the guitar lead for something else. So there's a lot of off-roading that goes on around my house. I didn't realize that this part of North Arizona is famous for off-roaders, so we just have a lot of loud off-roading vehiculars. We have a lot of loud off-roading vehiculars. So I'm still releasing my album this year, but we're kind of a little bit at a standstill because we don't really know what direction to take Black Dress. If we want to add percussion, just have it no percussion, possibly take out and redo some of the guitar tracks. So with working 60 hours a week and doing music stuff, today's been my only day off in 13 days. So I just basically cleaned my truck and went for a jog. I was planning on doing music today, but it's 7:08 and I'm just enjoying my day off so much that I don't know if I'm gonna get to recording tonight. I'm thinking about, instead of releasing a 9-song album or a 7-song EP, I'm almost thinking about releasing a 3-song project. Because I don't want to rush anything, and I've been putting out a lot of demos this year, just raw tracks, like Fever, came out with Fever like that, Inside and Out, Black Dress, Orange Night. Actually, the full mastered version of Orange Night will be out on the 22nd. So put that on your calendars. The full mastered version of Orange Night will be out on the 20. Will be out. It will be released on the 22nd. And I'm really excited about it. It sounds really good. It's just trying to keep the rest of the songs up to par with Orange Night is kind of my goal. I'm sort of thinking I would rather put out 3 completed, polished songs than put out like 8 kind of half-finished demo songs. So, also, the overall direction of my music might be shifting too, because I'm thinking about actually going back to the Christian alternative music scene. I know, I would never thought I would ever do that. That's where I started, was in the alternative Christian music scene, and playing Cornerstone and playing with Christian punk rock bands. So I don't know if I'm going to do punk, and I don't even think it's going to be full Christian music, but it's not going to be secular music. I just can't do it. Ginger, fuck off. I can't do it. I cannot put out secular music. Even putting out old music from Hold Me Like a Gun. I'm gonna put you up, Ginger. She just doesn't give a shit. She doesn't care. I'm gonna put her up for 5 minutes. I just came on live. I just want to make sure that you know I don't condone any drug music. Good chance, Ginger. Not to be so. It's more like it's not like I'm gonna be playing Christian music. It's more like gonna be Christian sort of inspired music or something. It's more like it's just I'm gonna be a Christian and the music is not gonna be really secular, but it's not gonna be really Christian either. And I was one of the first in the Christian punk rock music scene to like tell everybody, hey, why are we playing Christian music? We don't have to play Christian music, you know. We were a really talented band. We probably would have gotten a lot bigger if we didn't play Christian music. And so with my band, I'm talking about The Discarded. We have an album called Image that's up, Sore Eyes. I Won't Live a Lie, you know. So I was the first one to we started writing songs that weren't Christians. Like I've Got a Lot of Problems was just a normal secular song. Away was just a normal secular song. Because I just thought it was stupid. I thought playing Christian music was stupid, basically, and I was in a Christian band. So hold on. I know there's some people out there that understand what I'm talking about. We had a gigantic community of alternative. You know, I went to Calvary Chapel, so there was a lot of people in Orange County that were, you know, basically Protestant, non-denominational Christians, and I was part of that whole group. And there was thousands of us, and we all had a lot of fun, and we had a great community. But I just wanted to play just normal music. So yeah, I started off with normal music, you know, metal and punk rock from my aunt Sashin gave me this compilation. And then when my grandma made me go to church to Calvary Chapel when I was like 13 years old, that's when I met all like the Christian friends, you know, and they're like, oh, they recruited me. They're like, oh, you're good at guitar, be in our band. So anyways, the thing is, and I wasn't really planning on talking about this today. The thing is, I didn't realize at the time that that's not even really the Christian that I was going to end up being a non-denominational Christian, because I converted to Catholicism in my late 20s, technically Eastern Orthodox Christianity. So now that I look back at it, it was like I was a wrong type of Christian, but I did like the alternative Christian music scene as far as the community went, but it was like, it just seemed fake, or like something was off with it. There just seemed something off or weird with it. It's because it's not even real Christianity, non-denominational Protestant Christianity. So you're creating a subculture within a subculture. And it's like one of those subcultures are like faulty, so it was just very weird, and I could sense it, and even I think other people sensed it too, and we kind of would make fun of the Christian alternative music scene. Even the people that were in some of the biggest bands of that scene, we would joke around after concerts at Denny's and kind of make fun of, like, we're so stupid, we're playing like this heavy like metal punk rock and like screaming about Jesus, and we're part of like a fake Christian community, basically. So it just, and so that's why I'm not going back to the Christian music scene, but at the same time, I don't really want to play secular music like I was with Hold Me Like a Gun, because Hold Me Like a Gun was a party band, but it was kind of dark as fuck, It was like I don't know. I released a song called Cocaine Freaks, and I feel kind of bad because I don't condone drug use, and I think drugs are horrible, and people should stay clear from them, absolutely. So I feel a little bit like a hypocrite, but that was when I wrote that song. I was 21 and 22 and experimenting with a lot of different stuff. So it's like, it's just a part of my catalog, I guess, or my musical journey. So even though I don't do drugs and I don't condone drugs, I still felt like I had to put out that song because I did write the song, I did write the lyrics, and it was that chapter in my life. But I feel a little raw about it, and I feel a little bad about that because the last thing I want to do is like encourage people to do cocaine or to experiment with psychedelics or whatever. I think that would be better, doing psilocybin. If you're going to experiment with something, maybe something like that, not like hardcore uppers or something. So just having the background of Christian music, alternative music, and then going to really, really secular music. Like now that I'm 40, I feel like the pendulum has swung. It was swung really far that way and then swung really far that way. And now I feel like I'm going to be playing music that's somewhere in the middle. It's not going to be secular party music, but it's also not going to be alternative Christian music. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. It's the name of my next song I'm writing, Somewhere in the Middle. No. Yeah, because I don't know if it's their plan, but the way non-denominational pastors conduct themselves in their messages, they're basically yelling at people to be like these holy, perfect humans. And I feel like it's reverse psychology, and I think it makes people do the exact opposite, because the demeanor and the stature of a Catholic priest compared to a non-denominational pastor is so different. It's so different, and I feel like the priest makes people more centered and more calm. And I think the non-denominational pastor is like the opposite. I feel like the way they preach, it hypes people up into sinful living because they're yelling at people and they're repeating themselves and they're getting so emotionally worked up, like you're gonna go to hell and this and this and all this hardcore stuff, that it pushes people away. And I'm thinking some of them actually know that they're doing that. But obviously when I was a teenager, I thought they were, trying to help people. But now that I'm older, I realize that I think some of them know that they're part of a faulty fake church, and they're yelling at their congregation, trying to control their congregation, trying to keep them away from the Catholic Church, which is technically the first and only true Christian church. And they're trying to, it's just you know, those churches are fake churches. All these non-denominational churches, they're fake churches. And I think they do more harm than good. Because if you notice, everybody that started off in non-denominational churches and were like totally for Jesus, Orange County, Jesus freaks, they all ended up to be in the occult or like Catholic or Orthodox Christian. Like none of it, it's not a path with longevity. You know, they're all became alcoholic, tattooed, occultic new agers, basically. All of them. Most of them. And then the other percent of them converted to orthodoxy, like what I did. So I feel like that Christian alternative music scene is, even though it was really cool, I just think it's I don't even know if it's still around. I mean, is there still Christian music around? I don't know. I think Head Noise played with Officer Negative and stuff like at the Glass House in Pomona, and there was probably only, I didn't go to that show, and I'm glad I didn't because it started raining and I would have been on a scooter, an electric scooter. This was like 9 months ago, but I'm glad I didn't go. But I'm just wondering if, like, how many people were there. I mean, I'm thinking it might have been like a dead show. It's just what it is. It's a movement that I don't think is Christ centered in true Christianity. So it's like the Nazi party or communism. You have to keep feeding it for it to survive because it's not grounded in Christ. So that's just my honest opinion about non-denominational Christian music scenes. It's like, in a way, I think they're weirder than just secular music. I think you're better off just probably going to a secular concert than getting hyped up and trying to convince everyone not to be Catholic and like you're some like super fucking Christian. I think that's it's crazy how even demonic non-denominational churches and music scene can be. It's basically occultism without narcotics. That's basically what the Christian alternative music scene is. It's occultism without narcotics, and they're basically using Jesus and prayer and their community like a magic wand, and like they're somehow not connected to the world, and they're like on this different, like they've unplugged from the matrix, and they're like helping the world magically through their Christian music. And it's just it's like any other new age group, like AA, Church of Scientology, any of these types, like Mormonism, all these groups. You have to be like excited about your group and keep it going, where normal religions, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that in the Catholic Church or the Orthodox Church. I mean, those churches are so old and have been around for so long that it's more of a family heritage thing and not like a movement or a protest. So it's like a lot of Orthodox Christians, their parents were Orthodox, just like all the way down, basically. And with non-denominational churches, they're so schismed, and there's so many thousands of them that there's most non-denominational churches, will barely last 100 years, probably not even 100 years. Like in Orange County, all these sort of on fire non-denominational churches, they only have like a 30 to 40 year lifespan, and they're always like this, like there's always like this peak, just like a business, where it's like everybody's going there, everybody's donating money, it's a thriving community, it's like it's fun and all this stuff, and you can meet all these people and have connections. There's only like the peak lasts from like 4 to 9 years, and then it starts like dying out and eventually closes, and then whatever it is moves to like another mega non-denominational church. Like I said, it's a movement, um, and you have to feed it for it to continue. And that's like everything, not just non-denominational churches. Like for existence, let's take Madonna. I don't know if she had that much of a cult following, but she was one of the biggest pop stars in the 80s, if not the biggest. And she had a peak, and she was, on top of the charts for like 5 to 7 years. And now in like a couple of years, you'll ask somebody who Madonna is, and they'll be like, is that like a painter, or is that a piece of art? Like, they're not going to know. And it's like that with everybody. So all these things that are worldly, that are hyped, when there's a hype involved, it, like the Jersey Shore, that was a big reality TV show. They had like a 5 year peak, and it's going to be like that with every musician, every influencer, every pop artist. They're going to peak in their career, cash out, and then the consequences happen, and then they get burnt out. I mean, have you seen those Jersey Shore people? They're burnt the fuck out. I saw them on this like talk show. This was like 7 or 8 years ago, and they looked horrible. They didn't even look like real people. So whether they have like $10 million in their bank account or not, it doesn't even matter, because they're burnt the fuck out. So this is one reason I would not be able to sort of ever really get that famous with my music, is because I just won't go along with the program. I won't. I'm not a people pleaser. I'm not going to create this alternate personality to like peak out on top of the charts for like 7 years. I'm an honest songwriter. I'm honest with my process, and I don't write music or do things for popularity or money. I just don't. I write music. That's what I do. It's just what I do, is I write music. I don't try to write music. I don't have to write music. It's what I do, is I write music. And coming from a Christian alternative music scene that was weird as fuck, and then getting really into the secular, I guess, rock scene in LA, hipster scene, or whatever you want to call it, that was really dark and negative. So it was weird subculture within subculture, Christian alternative music scene, to super, super dark, alcoholic, like you're fucking living in the Train Spotting movie, like you're in some bad Sex Pistols episode or something. It's got really dark. So now it's like, after taking 11 years off from all music, from playing and writing music, I'm coming back, and I've been putting out a lot of music this year. And I got music on Spotify, so this kind of has like, some of it kind of sounds punk rock, some of it kind of sounds indie. So, and then I put out some old Hold Me Like a Gun stuff from my band 20 years ago, and I'm going to be putting out a 6-song album from that band. So I'm putting out all this music, and it's not that I don't know what to play or what style to play. It's that all this music is coming out at one time. So I have songs that I wrote 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years, and 3 years ago. So it's like a long span of being a songwriter and then just putting like taking songs from all those different times and just releasing them all in one year, it's kind of fucking confusing me. And it's making me think about what I want to do next year and what kind of genre do I want to stick with. So that's kind of what I'm going through right now is what genre do I kind of want to stick with? Because this year I've put out a little bit of everything. Hold Me Like a Gun stuff, rock and roll stuff, experimental stuff, like bluesy stuff, indie stuff. I mean, you could go on Spotify. I think I put out like maybe 20 songs this year, and a lot of them are just straight up just different genres. I'm glad I have a job, put it that way. I'm glad I have a fucking day job, because that would I can't imagine, influencers and people in the entertainment industry, they have to try to impress people because that's the only way they're making money. And if they don't impress and get enough views or likes, then they're not going to make any money. So they're basically held hostage by the group conscious, and the group conscious is fucking shit. It's a bunch of shitheads. So my girlfriend maybe is, if we're dating, I mean, she's an influencer. So I really, I mean, to have to do all that, I mean, I could do that. I could easily be generally likable. I could do that. It's not that hard, to do that, but it's just, I mean, to be stuck in like an episode of the Kardashians just would be a fucking nightmare. Jake Paul, just the world of influencers, it would be really hard to respect other people and to go along with that program. I just don't think I could do it. I would fucking I don't know if I could do that. I'm too critical. There's just no way I could be an influencer. I would rather just write music every couple of years and put out like maybe like 3 or 4 songs like every year and just express myself that way. There'd be no other way. Where my top fans out. 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 Ow, 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 ow. I can't believe I gotta work tomorrow. Still training. Back again. Still training. Still training. Back again. Training again. Back training again. Still training. Never quitting, never giving up. Day in, day out, still training. Never stopping, going in every day. Never backing down, still training. Still training. Alright, so yeah, I think honestly by next year, by the end of the year, I'm going to have a pretty good idea of what kind of genre I'm going to want to stick with my music. It's been good. I mean, I like the stuff I put out this year. It's not bad. It's not bad. It feels like I'm just warming up. I feel like I'm just warming up with the music, and I'm about to just really be able to express yourself. Boom. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Express yourself. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Come on, baby. This next song is called I am thinking that that's it. I'm just gonna be, putting out this EP and then probably maybe just doing, sort of Christian-ish music. It's not Christian music, bro. It's Christian-ish music. Still training. Back again, still training. Bro, it's not Christian music. It's Christian-ish music. It's borderlining the Christian music scene without getting weird. It's anonymous Christian. Bro, it's not Christian music, bro. It's AC. It's anonymous Christian music facility. No, it's an anonymous Christian music incorporated. Limited access community. Okay, I'm done. Sorry. Just kidding. JK.